me, dude. Okay na yung workload. Just, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we are live.
All right.
Hey,
Okay.
guys! Hello, it's me, Andren Bernardo, River Cruz, and Josel Nicolas. Welcome to Gaming Gamers, pare. The gaming podcast that has gamers saying, huh?
Wait.
And
So,
for this week, what are we talking about this week?
Wait.
Introduce the topic.
I have to reshare to.
Uh,
Kung pwedeng ulitin mo yung
okay.
yung magandang intro just to be sure.
Oh, dude,
Sorry,
you gotta think of a
I'll share it now.
punchline.
I'll share it now. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Yes,
That was
it's
really
fine,
funny.
dude.
Okay, na-share ko na. I can cut out yung dead air sa simula. Okay. Wait. Let me look at yung... Okay, sige. I can see yung... Yeah, okay, sige, fine.
You should really do a countdown with these things.
I'm being...
Hello, guys. Hello, guys. Welcome to Gaming Gamers, the gaming podcast that has people saying, okay. So, I'm Andren Bernardo, your host. Here are my two very special gaming friends, Josel Nicolas and River Cruz. So,
Yes,
before we start talking about the very middle class hobby called gaming, what have you guys been doing so weekend? Yeah, it could be gaming related or not. So, how about you, River? Since you're the youngest of us, the most youthful.
So I'm the last
Have
to
you
go.
been fucking hoverboarding? Yeah.
So what? Instead of I didn't actually do this over the weekend. Last night, actually this morning at 3 a.m. I finally finished Dragon Quest 11. Well, finished in
Holy
big quotes because I didn't really like. And anyone else who's played Dragon Quest 11 knows that's not like the true ending. I defeated the Lord of Shadows, and there was the credits rolled, but I just knew there was something hollow to the ending that made it feel like there was more. And then I was right. It said to be continued after the credits, and then there's apparently like 40 more hours of gameplay.
Dude,
there's a lot of
there's a lot
of unanswered questions.
Yeah.
So
That's why there's no DLC for that fucking
I know.
game. 'Cause
The
it's so
DLC is
long.
already baked into the game.
Yeah,
So, like,
that's
right
what- that's
now-
what's awesome.
Right now, I'm on the fence if I'm gonna immediately like tackle the true ending or if I'm gonna play other games because I think I've clocked in around 80 hours so far, and I know that's not like super big for a JRPG. I know that's a lot of hours in
That is a
anything.
lot of hours, dude.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm kind of on the fence of like, will I really like complete it 100%? Will I do the true ending? Like, and I think, Andren, were you able to finish the game like all the way through?
Yeah, and all the way through.
Oh my god.
And that's
Is it
what's
worth it?
But here. Spoiler taga. I'm gonna spoil some shit sa Dragon Quest, okay? And why I find the true ending awesome and the regular ending awesome then. Kasi sa regular ending, one of your party members dies. The witch,
Yeah.
the one with
Veronica.
the small girl.
Yeah.
Aw.
And that's the canonical ending. I mean the canonical, it's the
It is
regular
canonical
ending.
in a way, yeah.
Yeah. So what's awesome about the extra
true
shit
ending.
that you do after
Yeah.
the credit, you go back in time, pare.
Yeah, it's
You
wishful
go back-
fulfillment.
Yeah, you go back in time so to the point where, again, just fill in the blanks, River, na, okay, you go back in time to
It's the exact
undo the
moment.
mistakes.
Yeah, it's the
Go ahead.
exact moment before you meet the Lord of Shadows for the first time. Because what I love about Dragon Quest 11 is that, yeah, it's traditional fantasy JRPG, but it plays with the tropes in very, very interesting ways. Like, technically you failed in the original timeline, and
Yes.
because of your failure, a lot of towns got destroyed. Your companion dies. A lot of people lost their homes, but you were able to regroup. You're able to find your friends again, and then properly defeat the Lord of Shadows. But then, yeah, the bonus ending is that you go back in time and then do it perfectly. So what that feels for me is it's like a completionist mode when, like, let's say you're playing like a stealth game like Dishonored or Hitman, and then you go through it and you kind of bungled it. You killed like a few guards you didn't mean to kill, but you finished it anyway and you finished the game. And then you basically you quick load, you start over before the big moment, and then you do it perfectly this time. That's
Yeah.
basically what they did.
That was so cool for me. Like it's they could have cheated in the way that they cheated Mass Effect 3 na the original ending is in the DLC. This is baked into the game. So it's so cool. I just don't get what the canonical ending is. And in the ending, it turns out to be a prequel to Dragon Quest 3.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the fucked up thing about this. It's so many timelines working together, and it's an awesome game. The only thing that I'm sure yung part river na you don't want to play it, like the added quests. Kasi it's turn-based. Like, even me as a JRPG fan, by the end of the game, auto battle ko na kasi may auto battle dun. So
you can.
when I was grinding out,
of doing that.
Yeah. Pero yeah, it's the yung kahinaan siya ng mga turn-based games.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do the ending. I'm just gonna like take a break muna because like I spent like. How do you guys play games? But do you? Because for me, I have like a main game. This is the one I spend most of my time with, and then I have tiny small games where I take a break and I play that for a bit. I go back to the main game, and for like most of quarantine, Dragon Quest was my main game.
Okay. Well, the way that I play games is I play it a lot and then I post about it and then I start a podcast and then I never talk about it.
Because you got it out of your system already.
I got it out of my system. I usually focus in on one game, but lately, since we're talking about yung weekend ko, I've been spending a lot of time with my little nephew. He's like 7. Thus we play games
Hell
together.
yeah, dude.
It's great. So like I've been mostly playing yung Bowser's Fury over there. Pero yung other game that we started playing kasi hello? Sorry, what? Everyone froze. Everyone froze. Natakot ako bigla.
Yeah.
I think that was Discord because mine was freezing too.
Yeah, it's a Discord thing.
Okay.
All right.
Can you repeat what you said?
Damn, Master Control.
We're gonna talk about that
no,
later.
we were playing. We got into Abe's New and Tasty, yung remake ng Oddworld na originals.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I never played that.
I
only played one Oddworld game.
Was it? Did you play yung original?
I played Stranger's Wrath. That's the one I played.
No, pero like I
It's
used
really
to
good.
play Oddworld sa PC, tapos I just never finished it. So when I saw yung remake on sale, just I'll play this. Tapos for kay Andren, it's your favorite. It's a platformer that is too ambitious.
I don't hate platformers.
No.
I just hate Limbo.
I know. Pero I think you will.
I love Rayman.
I love Rayman, yeah.
Pero like, I think ang ganda ng Oddworld kasi there's like this fucking huge story and huge world baked into it. And like
it's a fucking good story, and it's pretty dark, diba, Josel?
It is
It's
dark.
very,
It's
very
basically
dark, yeah. It's also political. It's surprisingly political.
What's that movie na something is people?
Oh, Soylent Green.
Soylent Green is people. It's basically that kasi you're a factory worker working at this meat packing factory and you eat all of these other creatures for packing, right? And then na-discover mo yung newest meat ingredient is yung workers na. Tapos parang, that's fucked up. Tapos
that's a good statement.
But it's like a very
capitalism.
stiff platformer na hindi ganun kaganda yung feeling, pero the idea naman kasi it's puzzles and stuff kasi you have to control the minds of other people, or like there's like mga traps and shit. Tapos yung nephew ko got strangely into it kasi parang you could see yung solutions and stuff. It's pretty cool. Ayan.
I've been meaning to play the other Oddworld game since I beat Stranger's Wrath because that one, Stranger's Wrath is a first-person, third-person shooter. It's really different from the other Oddworld
but
games.
it starts out like a first person and then
hat?
nagiging siyang third person.
Yeah, it's a he's a cowboy. It's a western. It's set in the Oddworld world, and I think that what those series do really well, guys, is world building. It feels very thought through, and it's surprisingly mature. And I'd like to play the other Oddworld games when
It's
I
just
can.
weird to me kasi parang it's like how many people play Oddworld? It
Play
feels
Oddworld?
like there are like 10 people still playing
Yeah.
Oddworld. Ewan ko. It's so how can they last that long? Alam mo yun? Like as a studio?
Yeah, it's the kind of game that you expect there to be like comic books explaining like side stories
You,
or whatever.
you
But I
know
don't
what?
even know if there are.
You know what it is? It's like Worms.
Worms Armageddon.
Yeah, it's like
Oh, yeah.
they're ganun ka profitable siguro yung unang Worms na they can just fucking coast and like not really like they haven't
Make the
really
same
made
game
like they've
over
tried.
and over.
I've seen yung new Worms and shit, but I just never I don't understand why they're still I mean I'm happy na buhay pa yung Oddworld na studio pero like where do you get money? Ganun. Ah.
From Worms. There are a lot of Worms copycats, dude. Like, you remember Gunbound?
Yeah.
That game was huge.
That was cool.
That game was fucking huge,
Yeah.
dude. I even played one sa PS1. It was a Worms-like, if that's a term. It's called Hogs
like
of War.
the new subgenre.
Yeah. It's called Hogs of War. It's like Worms, but you're pigs. And there were these racist caricatures, by the way. This is the game, not me. The Japanese one had like the Chinese pigs had like slit eyes and talked like chong 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 chong.
Oh my god, yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
That's
Yeah.
great. I mean,
The
that's
German-
not great. That's horrible.
The German one was like fuck the Jews. Nah, I was just kidding. But it was really racist caricatures, and that's where I get most of my humor as a stand-up. So
Hogs of War. Well, you know.
Yeah.
Between the
so what, Giselle?
No, I was gonna call back. So you know the joke na I was gonna say anyway. Huwag na natin gawin yung joke na yun because I never want to say it again. Continue.
Okay. So what I've been doing this past week is before I get to the game, I've been cooking. Yes, dude. And dude, ganda, pare, I cooked a mean spaghetti and meatballs, pare. Without the spaghetti because I'm diabetic, so I removed it. It's just
it's just
meatballs with sauce, with a lot of fucking
Oh,
tomato
okay.
sauce. And to counteract na wala kasing carbs, I made it really spicy. It's so easy pala to make spaghetti sauce now. You just need garlic, onions,
Italian.
garlic, onions, a bit of oil, fry it in a pan, add a bit of chili flakes,
Yeah.
yeah, some basil leaves, and then you put the tomato sauce and tomato paste. That's basically it.
Yeah.
Fuck, dude, I rule.
I made.
There's nothing sadder than cooking. Yeah, there's nothing sadder than cooking for yourself, by the way. Kasi pagkaluto mo, guys! Oh yeah, I'm gonna eat all of this.
No,
It
man.
got so just
Dude, it's
then
kind of
I was
rewarding.
eating it off the pan. The pan was in my legs, and I was just eating it.
Well, don't do that. Important
No, I'm
just-
plating.
It
There's no
saves
one here.
water.
Huh?
He
There's
doesn't
no
have to
one
do any
here.
dishes anymore.
No,
Yeah.
dudes, guys, you
It's
gotta,
good for the
you gotta have
environment.
the
I'm drinking out of
extra.
a pitcher. That's why I'm drinking out of a pitcher, because I don't fucking,
This is
I don't have
why.
anyone here.
This is why tayo friends. Kasi ganyan din ako mabuhay dati sa Maynila. Pero like right now, it's like you gotta get yung plate. You gotta get that extra step so you can separate your. You already cooked.
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's good for your mental health to separate.
Dude, I'm not joking. Yung mismong ladle, pang mix ko, like I was just, what if I dip this in rice?
You're so close. You talk to us about cooking, tapos parang naririnig ko, oh, like he's making almond bread and shit. It's like, are you just parang getting it out of the pan and like,
Yeah. And you eat it off the ground.
But
Yeah, dude, I think, yeah. How about you, Giselle?
No, but I
Enough
get
about
that
me.
kasi I do cut corners sometimes pag nagpapakain ako sa magulang ko, like parang. Pero like, you know, the extra step really helps. I'm just saying. No, like I made fake beef caldereta recently with fake meat. Tapos it was really good. Like na-surprise lang ako sa sarili ko. Parang, oh, this is fucking tasty. Like they didn't care na it wasn't real meat. Ganun. Kasi yung dad
What was it
out and shit.
actually? What was
Tofu,
it actually?
right?
Was it tofu or?
It's yung meat substitute thing. It's like wheat na binded up to feel like meat. Ganun.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, if you put in oil and garlic on anything, sasarap naman siya. So, yun naman.
Actually, that's the Filipino. Yeah, we can make day-old rice taste good, pare.
Yeah.
Because of garlic and oil.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pero off the topic of depressive cooking,
Uh-huh.
I have been playing this game called Code Vein. Kasi I've been looking for a Dark Souls-like.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yung
And it's on
anime.
PC, so you guys might enjoy it. It's pretty. I got it cheap. Like it was a PlayStation 4 game na it's basically this game stores na it's not really a game store, part lang siya ng fucking SM department store. So
Okay.
so yeah. So like it was this weird game store na fucking konti lang yung games. Pero I was looking for this game. It's hard to find in Code Vein. So it's a Dark Souls-like, pero anime.
Yeah.
It's really fun. Kasi the special thing about this game, usually when you play like those types of games, you pick one class and you just build up from there. Here, your main character has all the classes. You can switch up on the fly. Yung mga classes mo, you can be a wizard and you can switch up to being a berserker. So it's good and bad because I guess it fucks up the fantasy. You want to play this one particular character, but
It's
it
very
feels good.
RPG. Okay, that's cool.
It's very convenient na okay, this boss like tayo na mabagal siya and di ko kaya makipagmano-mano kasi berserker like warrior class yung gamit ko. So let's switch it up, maging ranger ako tapos basically cheesing my way out of this boss fight.
Well,
So it's fun
well,
at that level.
you don't want every Souls like to like fucking punish
Be
you.
the same.
Like some you might want to like hold your hand and like parang I mean I can see yung value there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's why it's awesome. Like, it affects the gameplay because you change your class type depending on the enemy. So, it's really good.
But does it do the
Super
thing
good,
where
and
like
so-
if you die and then you go back to the checkpoint, all the enemies come back to life? It does that, right?
Yeah.
For me, that's the staple. It doesn't matter if the game is hard or easy. If it does that,
Can someone
That's how you know.
explain to me exactly what? Kasi I've been thinking about it. Alam ko naman kung ano yung definition. I just want to hear your guys' definition. What is a Souls like?
it's
Okay.
interesting
You
because
go first, River.
I just watched a video about this about the way that the media industry defines certain game genres. Because like for the longest time, first-person shooters were called Doom clones, and then suddenly
Oh.
they were called FPS all of a sudden because Half-Life came out and it changed the formula. Because like
Yeah.
they were specifically talking about how like the term Souls-like, it's a bit loaded because a lot of games that are like Dark Souls, they don't share the same aspects of it now. Like honestly, like even games made by FromSoft, like Sekiro, it's not really an RPG like Dark Souls anymore.
Ooh,
So you
yeah,
can't say
it was
that
so hard.
Dark
Yeah, that's
Souls-
why, for me,
Yeah.
it was, not to interrupt you, for me, that
Yeah.
was the hardest from software game. Kasi it was not an RPG. So
Yeah,
you
you
needed
don't
skill
grind.
talaga.
that to
Yeah,
get
that's
good.
why.
Yeah.
It was one of the
So-
hardest games that they
Yes.
ever made for me.
So the goal there when it was the podcast that I listened to was it was called Slightly Civil War. It has do you know this guy named Yahtzee? He does the zero punctuation YouTube videos.
No.
No.
Anyway, I recommend this stuff. He's really funny. He's part of this escapist gaming channel. They talked about how like they boiled down all the Souls-like games. Not all of them are the same. Like Hollow Knight is 2D and it's a platformer and it's not doesn't have the same combat and whatnot. But the thing that makes all of them that ties them all together is that when you die and you go back to your save, all the enemies respawn and you have to collect something again.
Yes.
Whether it be
Yes.
money or XP.
No, yung accumulated XP points mo, diba?
Yeah.
And it,
Yeah.
yeah. For me, that's the soul staple.
So they called, instead of calling it Souls, like they're calling it a recursive game. Recursive because it like recur like from I think they were thinking like Groundhog's Day, where like your day starts over and over until
Oh,
you get
Bill
to the
Murray
game.
is there? Sorry,
Yeah,
sorry.
Bill Murray movie. Yeah. Go there. Yeah, Bill Murray's in it. He fucking commits suicide a million times. But yeah.
There's a Groundhog's Day VR game that looked cool.
What's it called?
No, it's Groundhog's Day, talaga.
Oh, it's actually Groundhog.
It's actually
They got the
Groundhog's
license.
Day. I think yung anak na yung bida, tas it's cartoony. Pero
Oh, that's so interesting.
yeah, you should check it out and like spend all of your savings on like one piece of equipment.
Yeah. Actually, I would get a VR game just to try
Yeah.
Half-Life, Alex.
Like, Like,
I
River
would-
was considering buying a Vita for Persona 4 Golden.
Yeah, I'm that
That's
kind of guy.
there's a
Golden is a great
difference. A
game, huh?
Vita is 1,000 pesos. One
Yes,
VR
it's like
unit is like 20,000 at least. Yung walang
And not just that, you need a good PC, to
PC
run
pa.
the VR
Pero like,
system.
you know,
Yeah.
I would buy yung VR para to play yung VR porn. I think that's the most
Yeah,
honest
me too. I
answer.
would-
You get your money's worth
Yeah.
after one nut.
Buy VR porn and a flashlight, pare. You're set, pare.
Oh.
Yeah.
You don't need human
No,
contact
after
anymore.
I'll buy yung VR porn, I'll just pupunta ako sa likod, kukuha ng papaya, yun na lang yung kaya kong afford ng pera ko. So okay, no, that's pretty interesting kasi that's what I thought then really is a Souls-like. It's the idea na if you die, you don't lose everything. You can come back and get
Yeah.
it. Ganon. And then I guess important part nga yung the enemies do come back. Ganon. Very cool. They're like,
Yeah. A bit off topic lang and we'll get to our main topic, which is video game movies, guys. So look out for that. Pero like main topic lang, you know these console wars, yung bullshit. Ooh, console PC, or kaya Xbox versus PS4 versus PC. I think that still exists because of
Really?
controllers. You know why I never bought an Xbox? Like even though yung specs maganda, like you can argue with the specs, I just bought it because of the controller. Kasi I'm so familiar now with the PS controller. It never changed that much. It's basically the PS controller since PlayStation 1.
Yeah, first DualShock.
Yeah, so sobrang sanay na ako. And if I change the controller layout, it's gonna fuck up me playing a game. So I think that's where it all is lang. For like most people. How about you guys? Do you agree or disagree with that?
I really like yung Pro controller na it's kind of like yung Xbox naman na ayoko yung sa PS na magkadikit yung sticks. When you get pag nasanay ka dun sa other way, parang I like that better. Like yun lang.
Yeah, for me personally, I feel like the console wars have kind of died down since the 2 generations ago. Kasi dati nung, like the Xbox 360, PS3 era talaga, that was the height of the console war. Like everyone is, and that's because both the Xbox and the PlayStation at the time could actually compete because they both had pros and cons talaga. But then ever since like a PS4, Xbox One, like clearly the PS4 won in the console war because the Xbox didn't have enough games.
Nick,
But nowadays-
because not to interrupt you, River.
Yeah,
They
go na.
focus on like not gaming, but entertainment in general.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Like,
the
yeah.
fall of that.
Like how so
Yeah,
yung entertainment like
They have their own streaming movies, voice activated. Like they had
The
their
Kinect,
own.
they tried to integrate the
Netflix.
Kinect.
But that's
like,
what that's what PS2 did, 'di ba? They sold it as a
The
DVD
DVD player.
player. Yun
Yeah.
yung pero then again like yung
It was just a side thing. It wasn't their main.
No, pero a lot of people really bought it dahil DVD player kasi like there were so few DVD players. Like
At the time, yeah.
Yun yung naging alas niya. Pero yeah, I mean, I get naman ganun.
I think kasi
They
nowadays,
voted the Discman on the PS1.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they did basically.
I'm
They did.
I'm actually thinking of fixing yung aking PS2 and like yung old consoles ko anyway. Yeah, I just don't like PC Master Race bullshit. Yun lang talaga yung ayoko. Kasi
Yeah,
that still exists.
I would admit, you know why PC is king now? It's pros and cons. The pros
Emulators.
are it's cheap. You can get games for dirt cheap, pare. It's so strong, pare. The consoles can't compete. Like yung lumalabas sa PS5 ngayon, it's basically a normal end PC daw. In these times. So it's cheap. It's powerful. So I kind of get. And you have a ton of access to different indie games. Doon nakikita ko yung indie game selection ng PS4. It's basically everything that you can buy sa Steam.
Pero
So yeah, it's
pero if you have a console, your penis is so much bigger.
yeah,
it's
and
true.
convenience.
Can't deny that.
Number one din yung convenience.
I would
Like, kasi I don't know jack shit about
I
fucking
would
PC.
like, pero like it's funny to me kasi parang all of the games na would benefit like a really big PC, I probably wouldn't finish. Like a
No,
really
that's me right now. My Steam library, I can't seem to get through my backlog because I only really play on any console. Like right now, my brother like recently he bought a 3DS again, a new 3DS, the one with the extra stick,
Wow.
just because we missed out on a bunch of games back in the day. And I'm playing that more than my laptop, which is like 10 times more powerful than a DS. But like it's just because of the convenience, because like I can't separate work from my computer.
Yeah.
So when I'm playing on my laptop, it just doesn't
I
feel. I don't know.
I was listening to like a podcast, yung Drunk Friend podcast. It's about these two YouTubers na who make video game reviews. Tapos they were talking about yung setup nila, and like they were saying that we don't try to game on yung work laptop namin kasi biglang may magme-message and shit and just really takes you out of shit. So parang
Yeah.
that's my experience then nung I thought I would game so much on yung laptop ko, pero like it's like it actually it's ewan ko. It sounds it's such a fucking middle class
kinda like-
thing eh.
Yeah, I kind of get it. Because it's kind of like a Japanese soldier playing hopscotch in fucking the Hiroshima bomb.
What?
It reminds him of brutal times. Eh. Right? I kind of get that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, diba? Diba?
He's
Am I
like-
thinking-
but it's there. The hopscotch is there, so I can play technically.
I
But
just
I'm in a fucking war zone.
number one, that's an amazing escalation of a metaphor I've ever heard. Number two, I just end up jacking off or something, or like watching YouTube. Kasi like I think the laptop feels more passive to
yeah.
me. If it's not passive, it's more like, oh, I'm gonna edit something or I'm gonna work. Parang I don't want it. Pero like, yeah, you know, like
Yeah, I saw this meme. I'm pretty old na, pero I still know memes. About this guy bought a high-end PC. Tapos naglalaro siya ng Bust the Groove 2. Tapos yung, alam mo yung mukha ng guy, yung parang yung sa meme, yung may full beard, tapos yung slick back hair,
Okay.
tapos nakatingin na sa PC. Yeah, that's what I remember.
I mean, honestly, for me right now, because it's because of the work from home setup that I have right now. Back then, because when life was normal, and I separated my work from like my going home times, I would play a lot of my laptop man talaga. That's where I played Dark Souls, where I played Dark Souls 3, and now that I'm 24/7 on the same place where I game and where I work, I can't. I need to play on something else, if that makes sense. It's a weird privilege sort of thing, but that's how it feels.
It's fair. It's fair. No. I mean, like when I moved from yung the place that I was living in with housemates, yung one of my requirements was I need like a separate space from. Kasi where when I lived with housemates, I worked where I slept. I would like roll over and then I'll start drawing na. That's how I work. That's parang once. It's what I was telling si Andren. You gotta get the plating done kasi you cooked really good food. It will make you feel better. Yun lang.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah. So like, okay, we watched movies. We watched Tron.
By the way,
Yeah.
our main topic, pare.
Yes.
Me, Giselle, and River watched Tron, pare. Remember that movie, pare? Yeah. So
What was
before
that?
we get to the obnoxious references,
Okay.
how did you guys enjoy the movie? Both of you.
I want to hear Giselle's thoughts first.
Yeah, Giselle's thoughts first.
I enjoyed hanging out with you guys. Ganon. I think the movie's
Oh, you
fine.
really enjoyed that.
That's your way of saying you didn't like the movie.
I don't want to say I didn't like it because I don't feel like I really paid attention because I didn't really hear a lot of
We're
in
joking
dialogue. I
around.
was just really looking at it. Tapos parang, okay, ganon. Pero like, it felt like it didn't really draw me in. Tapos it was really dated. Pero, ang ganda ng girl. Apparently, she was in Caddyshack. Yun yung other role niya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tapos, you guys didn't really respond when I said na si Jeff Bridges was that era's Paul Rudd. It's like, okay, just you said something.
I didn't get why.
'Cause he's
Why
so
was he-
cute.
what was explained?
Was he in Friends?
No, kasi
Was
he's
Jeff
so
Bridges on
cute.
Friends?
He's so cute. Yun lang. He's like,
Yeah,
he
I
could have
didn't know
played
Bridges is a
Ant-Man.
handsome fucker.
Huh?
He's
Yeah.
handsome.
But why
He's
Paul
handsome.
Rudd? He's not
Kasi,
even of
what
this
kasi no,
generation.
kasi he's like that roguish parang, hey man, I'm just hanging out. Ganong type of like
I thought you would have
character.
said Chris Pratt. I feel like would have been a better like
No,
comparison.
no. Si
Paul
Chris
Rudd
Pratt
is a bit-
tries harder. Si Paul Rudd is just natural. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
but-
Jeff Bridges in The Big Lebowski. I kind of see that.
I love
I kind
I
of,
love that.
I kind of see
I
that.
can't separate si ano si yun nga thought ko is like this is a beautiful movie. It's a beautiful looking movie. Lalo na pag wala sila doon sa computer. Like all of your
In
shots
the
were really
regular
pretty.
world, yeah.
When like yung mga rim lighting and everything.
I
Tapos
so disagree with you, Giselle.
you didn't think that it looks beautiful? Yung pagkaka-shoot ng
I
outside world?
No, you didn't like the nung nasa game na sila. That was the part lang na where I was trying to figure out shit, and I was so
Yeah.
engrossed.
You got really
With what-
quiet when we
Yeah,
when
'cause
we
I was
went to the
trying-
game world.
Man, this was fucking cool. But this is so goddamn cool, man.
Ewan ko.
Kasi
That
It just looked really good.
I was thinking na parang I really want to watch Dexter. Yung spoofed ng Dexter. I think it's
yeah.
I think it's an effect of parang what you see first. Ano yun?
Because you saw Dexter first.
Not even just that,
Yeah.
because I watched a lot of the things that were actually influenced by Tron. I watched Reboot,
No, I see.
that shitty
Yeah,
fucking
Reboot.
CGI show. I watched Johnny Quest, yung meron silang Quest World and shit, and they go into the computer. Ganun. So yun yung reference ko to see yung mismong parent of all of that. It's like, oh, okay, I get it. Ganun. I'm not
Yeah,
saying it's
I
bad.
mean-
I just wish that I
Yeah.
paid that more attention. Ganun.
That's how
From
my
my perspective,
subtitles.
the subtitles just said chapter 1,
Yeah,
chapter 3.
that's my fault. That's my fucking fault na yung subtitles is just chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3.
Okay, from my perspective, because the only Tron exposure I had, I skipped to the second movie. But then again, I feel like that's most people my age. They probably watched the sequel that came out like 20 years after the original. And the sequel wasn't bad. It was very average sci-fi. I liked the game world, but I actually, and I don't know if this is an opinion that's like that people don't really hold, but like I actually prefer the computer world in the first one, because in the first round that we just watched, because it feels like a computer world. It's hard. It's very separate from the real world in that not just yung obviously yung aesthetics, but also how it's shot. From a filmmaking standpoint, the camera angles are so bizarre in the computer world because the CGI was so, old, and they were clearly like still figuring stuff out. So like the camera would be in this weird angle, like in the upper left, and it's not really showing a lot of things. And Giselle is in a blue void.
Like Joe looks like he's in Tron right
I'm
now.
in
fam.
Tron!
Yeah, Giselle is in Tron. He got zapped by the orange machine.
No, I'll agree.
Napamatay na ba si Master Computer kasi kinausap pa na niya?
You will get.
He just spoke to him.
No,
I hate you, Giselle. I'm gonna kill myself.
I like how it looked because it's very retro. It looks like yung cover ng Atari. Like no, it really does. I can see.
I like they call it very retro, but at the time that was just modern
No,
day.
that
That was just
was-
how it was.
That was cutting edge, and that was like ang understanding ko, it's very brute force how they did it. Na parang they just had the technology. They didn't have fast computers and shit. Ganun.
No. I also feel like the editing was pretty, last thought. The editing was a bit weird. In the opening was you were just in the middle of the computer world, no context given, and you're suddenly like giving exposition like this is a user, this is these are the games, these are the blah blah blah, and then it's suddenly hard cut. Meanwhile, in the real world, like that, and they never use that again, that text effect, and then you're Jeff Bridges, he's hacking. I feel like my theory is that the original cut was it starts with the Jeff Bridges scene hacking and then goes into the computer world. But I don't know
That
why
was
they
like
started it with.
Parang studio note or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, that's it. That's all I was.
For me, River, kasi I think you agreed with me na mas yung maganda yung computer world sa original Tron, the Tron that we watched. Kasi it's not just because na it's just like maganda yung pag-shot kasi it looked so retro and compared sa here help me piece the thoughts in my head.
Okay.
Don't just second one.
I'll put
That's
it
why
there.
it was so because of the graphics for the real world, for the computer world, it kind of looked a bit like the real world then. But here in Tron, the graphics in the computer world look so opposite.
Totally different. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why it looked cooler, pare, than
I
the
agree.
one.
I agree.
Yeah.
It looked
Thank you, River.
it looked cooler than the new one.
Because in the
Yeah.
new one, it
No,
was literally
I
still
agree.
them.
I agree.
The new one looks amazing.
I have no
The new one looks
interest in watching
amazing.
a music video, yung new one. Like, I don't want to see yung CGI
It was
Jeff
just a long.
Bridges.
It
Yeah,
was just a
like,
long Daft Punk music
I'd
video. That
rather
was.
watch yung old one again. Like, I'm not saying I disliked it. I'm just saying parang, I, the guy who directed it is pretty good. Yun lang. Like, I like
Yeah.
yung shots and shit. Ganun.
And River was me and River and you were trying to piece out the plot. Kasi I just watched this when I was like mga 7 years old. So I
Okay,
just
okay.
liked
Wait,
it. kasi
tell us the
it was
story.
cool shit.
Tell us the
let's tell the
story
story.
of how
Let's
you
tell the
watched
story.
it. Ganun. That's
Yeah.
important to this.
So-
That's important to this.
Okay, Jeff Bridges was hacking. He did this freeze thing when I was a kid. Pare, that's so cool, pare. I've never seen that in any movies, pare. I've never seen anything where people went into a video game. And my cousin was a huge video game fan. Basically, like, it was my first introduction. Kasi most people say The Matrix was
Yeah.
their first introduction to people going into computers.
Yeah.
This was the first one, Tron. And when I was a kid, I just appreciated how cool it looked. It's a master computer, pare. And it actually scared me as a kid, pare. Big heads, sentient, yung mga nasa loob ng video games. Na, it made me think na, okay, so paano kaya kung totoo nga yung lives? Like,
Yeah.
when you play Mario, and when he dies, pare, he's just fucking...
You
These
know,
players, pare.
yung intro ko to like the idea of like a virtual world apart from Dexter, I think the movie one was Johnny Mnemonic, yung Keanu Reeves movie.
Oh.
I never
don't
watched
know.
that.
It's
Yeah,
weird.
I never seen
like,
it though.
I just remember na merong dolphin that says "fuck you" to someone, like talking dolphins. It's part of the movie, ganun. It's very weird.
An edgy Free Willy, pare.
Yeah.
So basically, when we were watching it, that's why I went quiet when they were in the computer. Like, I was trying to piece why. Like, they're trying to stop nga this program from going to other places. Pero, pinipiece ko lang yung story. Kasi when
Yeah.
I first watched Tron, I just liked it because of the visuals. And nung pinanood natin ulit, I still didn't get it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
basically, parehas pa rin yung thought process ko.
No, honestly, I feel like even if we weren't joking around, honestly, the plot is still a little bit nonsensical because medyo reaching yung repercussions ni Master Control, whatever.
Yeah.
He just says like, my goal is to go to the Kremlin and then the Pentagon and then the world. But
Yeah.
he doesn't say what's gonna happen when he does that.
Yeah,
No,
so
I think
But yeah,
I think
why?
what's gonna happen?
No, to defend the movie. I think the implication there is nuclear codes.
Okay, I mean at the time, yeah, it was
It's
very.
probably
elaborate.
it's probably Cold War stuff.
Okay.
So it was
I didn't-
Or what
It
if
was
he just
understood.
wanted to go to Kremlin para to meet Tetris?
To see the sights.
No, to meet Tetris.
To meet Tetris.
I am Tetris
Pero
now.
like I
I am
just
the Z
You know they're
piece.
making a Tetris movie? Did you know that?
Oh,
Don't
yung
tell
dark
me.
origin story, pare.
They're making a Tetris
Z
movie.
piece. The Z piece that fucks everything up.
They're good. They're
It's
good.
just
At it's
another
a missing persons
LPs.
movie. They can't find the straight line. He's always missing for
Oh
some
my
reason
God.
when they need him the most.
Is this real or is this
No,
some?
I don't know the story yet,
fiction?
but they're shooting it in Russia. The Tetris movie.
Oh, maybe they're doing yung actual story ng Tetris kasi that's fucking cool.
I don't know. I hope it's. I don't care. I don't want it to be the actual story of Tetris. But at this point, I want it to be falling blocks in the sky,
No,
and then it's like an apocalypse
You
movie.
already
That's what I
got
want it to
pixels
be.
for that. You already got
No,
pixels.
but I want a
What's
good
the original?
pixel.
Wait. What's the original story of Tetris? I don't know this.
Oh, kasi it
Oh,
was this guy na parang he just developed it on the side sa university. Tapos, it was actually Nintendo who got yung rights niya back.
Yeah,
Like,
they
a guy
bought
at
the license
Nintendo.
from him.
It's pretty cool.
Oh,
Yeah, but it's so
yeah, I
uninteresting.
mean-
That's such a straightforward story. What else is there to tell? That's why
are
I
you
want falling blocks
politics
in the
involved?
sky.
I guess. Yung politics
Oh, I
involved.
guess there are.
Why would
Because
I
at the
want,
time,
Why would I want anthropomorphized blocks? That's my
you don't know what
question.
you want until you get it.
No,
No,
I
maybe
don't
the
want
background
that. I
weapon.
know what I don't
Sorry,
want.
but
I don't want
my
that.
Anthropomorphized blocks, yung Z piece, pare. And pare,
I'm-
when can I fit into this puzzle called life? Then they
No.
find adventures.
Stop it.
So,
I'm the fucking most hipster here. I'm setting my foot down. We need to stop this epidemic of sarcasm na parang we want this fucking Tetris talking blocks and shit. No, we did. Did you know that TJ Miller took yung Emoji Movie just because it was funny to him? No, it was that bad. But no, everyone
Yeah.
stopped.
Dude, I feel like on capable writers, I feel like that a Tetris movie can work
Yeah.
in an
Everything can work
anthropomorphic
with
sense. I
capable
think it's
writers.
fine. Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Cause like, dude, that's how I felt when the Lego movie was first pitched. I was like, how are they gonna do this? It's Lego.
Well,
Lego
it's
is
different.
literally
It's different.
anything.
They made it ironic. They made it
I guess you're
self-aware.
no. That's why a self-aware Tetris movie that'd be really good.
What dark
I mean, just-
fucking story can you tell with Tetris? You said Lego, it was about thinking about outside of the box and parang consumerism and shit. Pero
Yeah,
like
no.
with Tetris?
Dude, what if like, you know the Tetris effect where like you see floating blocks if you play
Now
Tetris
you're
for
just
too
being
long?
Jonathan Blow. I don't want that.
Being Jonathan Blow.
So,
Is it a
Wait,
hot
I
take?
mean,
Since we're talking about video game movies, is it a hot take
Yeah.
that I hated Wreck-It Ralph? The first one and the second one.
I love
I
hate it.
haven't seen the second one.
I
I heard the
love
second one
Wreck-
is bad.
I'll
I like
I'll
the
sit
first one.
this one out kasi yun yung first date namin ni Caris and I really liked it. Ganun, it was fun.
Okay.
I know I probably would hate it if it wasn't special to me. But like I enjoy ang complaint ko with movies, there's too little super video game properties in it. Yun lang.
Here,
What did you like about it, Andren?
here, it's like Ready Player One, the video game movie. It's
Ready
so
Player One is a video game movie.
yeah, but here, let me explain. You basically yung plot niya. Okay, we're gonna make friends, and it's spiced up with, "Hey guys, remember video games?"
No, I felt that.
Here it is, and I'm
It's
like,
Qbert.
No, I felt
"Shut
that.
the fuck up, dude."
I
Sobrang
think-
paper thin yung plot, dude.
I didn't like
Yeah.
I
like
didn't
both those.
I didn't like that it boiled down to like a racing movie more than a video game movie. Pero you know, I liked it.
For me, I disagree.
Okay.
I felt the movie was stronger when it was making its own rules, when it was being its own thing. And honestly, the video game references are cool. They're like peppered on top, but they're not the main focus. Because Ready Player One, it lives and dies on its references. Wreck-It Ralph, you can remove all the video game references, it still works as a movie. For me, at least, that's how I see it, and that's why
Okay.
I like the movie. I haven't
Again,
seen the second one.
I
I
hate
heard
it.
it's terrible.
I hated both Ready Player One and fucking Wreck-It Ralph. So
I know I hate Ready Player One too, but
it's just
no.
I loved
When I was-
Ready Player
when I
One.
was watching-
Didn't you see yung Gundam? There was a
I saw
Gundam. That was great. I came when that Gundam came on screen.
It-
Like,
Yeah, you showed your Gundam
Spielberg, you
seed,
did it again.
Your Gundam Seed came out, dude.
So
Anyway, what was the story of Tron? We haven't finished telling the story of Tron.
Oh,
Oh, here's a
we
question.
basically agreed. I think that we didn't get the plot.
No, okay. Here's a question then that bugged me with the plot. So the woman that Giselle has a hard on for, she invented a beam that can bring organic matter into the computer, right?
Yes.
They establish it by shooting an orange. Now the orange is in the computer. Why did they make that? What is that for in a practical sense? How does
so
that help
Jeff
anyone?
Bridges can be inside the computer.
No, I know it
Fucking
no,
idiot.
dude. Okay, yeah, it's in the plot, but in the world, who are they helping? Is that like a punishment?
Kasi
Are they shooting death
Jeff
row?
Bridges needed to get that
people?
orange back. Na, yung unang orange na they beamed into the fucking... Look,
What
I
happened
just
to that
did...
orange? I thought that was gonna
I
come
didn't-
back.
It's gonna come back.
Maybe they lack vitamin C.
Yeah, kasi
Remember?
madaming
Yeah,
virus yung
virus.
computer.
Yeah.
I just didn't fucking get where yung two best friends niya were while he was fighting for his life. I don't get that.
And then the two programs that he meets look like his
Yeah.
best friends. What?
And
Why?
he fell in love with the girl. But maybe it's
Yeah.
foreshadowing
No.
some nangyari.
No, kasi nung nagbasa ako ng Wikipedia, like, I think he wasn't even falling in love with her. It's like, uy, chancing ako.
This is my
As in,
last
literally,
chance.
yun
He's
lang
gonna
yun.
fucking die.
Na parang, I also will teach you about kissing that us humans do. Like, yun lang. Tapos parang, I guess that's kind of funny in a weird... I think that the movie's dated in a lot of ways. Ganon.
By the way, yung ending niya, where they just met after his helicopter landing, and it
Yeah,
ended like,
Oh
ang
my
gusto ko
God.
makita, ang gusto ko makita, Giselle, yung after the movie, yung kwento niya, yo dudes, pare, Like both of the people in the program look like you guys, and I kissed you, and you died.
Dude, I can only imagine, like, in the real world, they're like, let's say they're like building computers, like, oh, my computer's out of RAM. And then Jeff Bridges just starts crying because he remembers RAM died in the computer. He has
Ram.
flashbacks to when RAM
What?
died.
I have a
Ano ba yung
question.
after credit scene? Ano? Yung dalawang.
He just,
Wait, I have a question. Anong program si Ram? Kasi si Tron
I-
is like a defense program and
I think
whatever.
Tron is an antivirus, diba? Tron was
Yeah.
an antivirus.
So
yeah.
what is RAM? Is he literally
yeah.
random access memory? Hindi, di ba? Kasi that's like hardware. That's not a program.
Yeah, if he died, the computer would have exploded.
Yeah.
So
So,
what
he's
is-
just a RAM.
I think we need a Tron expert here. Fuck.
We need someone
I
who's
agree.
super into Tron.
We're on the mainframe right now.
I have a question. Was Tron was not in Ready Player One, right?
I never watched Ready Player One.
You've never watched you hate it
No,
so much and
no.
you've never
I
watched
hated, I hated the book.
He read the
I have the
book.
book.
No,
Okay,
and I
fair
showed him the only part that kasi I had si Andren over.
The book stunk, pare.
Oh my god.
Dude, I have that exact copy of the book.
Gross. I
And
can't
didn't
believe
like
you
the book.
people. No, I showed si Andren yung shining part kasi I thought that
Yeah,
was a
that's
cool
why I was
piece of
kinda
filmmaking.
curious.
Yun lang.
Yeah, I was kinda
knew he would
Kasi
fucking
may
hate
Shining
that movie.
reference. Yeah.
Do you
we're
think
talking
that the movie suffers kasi it's dated kasi we just know more about technology kasi it's the all of yung tech babble and shit is like ridiculous. Alam mo yun? That guy with the giant table and like
I feel like okay, go. You go ahead.
You first, sorry.
Okay, so for me, my perspective as someone who's I went to film classes. I feel like a good film stands the test of time. Doesn't matter what technology, because like I remember in this one class that we did, we studied why Jurassic Park was still good to this day, and Jurassic Park is super dated. As like there's that scene where the girl is like hacking the mainframe, and there's like cubes of computer data, but like the film works even though it's very dated in the technology because the story is so compelling, because it has themes of like God, a man playing God and all that. For Tron, I feel like that would still work if there were themes about like has technology gone too far, like how something like that. I don't know, but
Why
it was
didn't
just a
they-
fun romp.
why didn't they
I don't-
unplug si Master Computer?
What is Master
Did they-
Computer? Is he a program or is he a virus?
And then I think they would have been trapped inside. They
No, pero
unplugged.
like that guy, yung CEO na he was getting cucked by his table. Like I don't understand why what was Master Computer leveraging? Alam mo yun?
I think he was like, if I control all of the computers in the world, I'll make you my computer right hand man. And
Yun yun.
I don't know.
Okay. I was gonna
I don't
leak your
know.
nudes, ganun.
It's just-
Pero like yun, I was just a bit unsure. Kasi it felt
Yeah,
like, me and Andrew were talking about this, it felt like it was very insular, na parang there were no stakes for other people, na parang,
Yes.
alam mo yun?
yeah, I think that's what was lacking, the stakes, because he never described what he was gonna do
Did the
when he
two,
hacked the
Yeah,
report.
that's why I was confused.
did the two
exactly are
best
you
friends, yung two best friends, did they know what happened kay Jeff Bridges? And why did they not help him inside? Yung sa, alam mo yun?
You're fucking
Yeah.
yourself.
Huh?
What the hell are you
They were straight fucking, dude. They did not give a shit.
Ayun, kasi they
Okay.
let him inside the fucking building, tapos parang they just kind of disappeared. And then si Jeff Bridges went inside the computer, and then he went outside. Ayun lang, parang, and then, do you think that afterwards, he's like super rich? Or like, he just goes back to his dingy arcade?
I don't know how he's gonna be super rich after what
No,
happened.
Ayun
you
nga, I
gotta
don't
watch
know
the
what he
sequel.
got
They
out of
explained
it.
it in they explained the sequel. He becomes super rich. He does actually.
How
From-
does
he
it go?
becomes-
How?
He
We've
becomes
never
the new CEO, but then he's like, "Hold on a sec, the computer world needs me," and he goes back in the computer world, and his son is looking for him. That's the plot of the second movie, and like,
We need to watch the second one.
I think we need to watch it. It's been years since I've seen it. Like,
I wouldn't go
Tron-
back sa computer world even if I met si Ram. I was like,
Yeah, ako rin.
fuck you.
Fuck this bitch, pare.
dude, but Olivia Wilde is in the second one. She's in the computer world, so that makes it a bit worth it.
No, I still wouldn't. Who wants to fucking go into the computer to make out with computer people? That's not fun. I'm being edgy.
You were literally talking about VR and
No,
VR
that's a
porn.
different thing. I'm still for terra firma. Still firmly like if I make out with like a computer program, my mom's not gonna walk in. Pero like I can like jack off and then my mom will walk in. That's what makes it fun. Na my mom
That's
can
the
catch
thrill
me.
of
That's
getting
the
caught.
thrill.
Okay.
Okay, before we end this in-depth Tron discussion
Okay.
and go to games, video game movies
Yeah,
that
we
we
can-
like and like.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Here's the thing. I forgot what I was gonna say. Shit, it was there. Oh yeah, that's why Tron worked then. Even though limited, yung sinasabi ni River kanina na limited yung technology kanina. When you look at the plot inside the video game world, it was so cool and dumb.
Yeah.
Because I like cool and dumb shit. Like when Master Controller like got all the rebels and just crucified them in this cyberspace
Oh,
prison.
yeah. The old man.
That was cool as fuck, dude. Again, it's a movie that's more style than substance. Would you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
It's,
I love
more
style
something.
over
It's not really saying anything. It was just a fun, like, computer
It was so
world.
stylish. Yeah. So basically, that's why I love Tron.
Yung problem ko lang is like I just want a bit of clarification. Yun lang naman. So like
Yeah, me too. Pero in the end, pare, the style won me over, Giselle. The style won
it's
me over.
fine. I mean, I didn't really have like. I think I would like it talaga if I sat down and like parang like yung critic glasses parang ooh like what changed in like ano. Pero like
Yeah, basically, we've been talking over the movie and making jokes.
But the funny thing to me is like parang I guess Disney really likes that movie kasi they made a sequel to it. Pero like if you asked me parang do I want like a sequel to Tron, parang it's kind of hard, you know?
I mean, because the thing about Tron, and this is actually kind of connected to when you were talking about the Odd World series. I feel like the world building was there. There was something there, and that you can expand on in terms of just the universe, not necessarily yung story in Jeff Bridges.
Yeah.
But like the computer world, there's like a lot there that you can. There were so many weird characters that they showed super briefly that they never like delved.
Like
Remember
who?
that weird? There's like that weird guy, and there's like these other.
That guy with a
those-
penis head. Like
Yeah.
old guy that made
Not just that, no, there was this other like this hairy guy. There was a hairy guy. They like briefly showed other NPCs walking around.
I don't understand why like yung I understand from like a casting perspective na parang the person who programmed the thing will look like yung program na inside, right? Pero like I mean okay, yun naman. Ganun.
Yeah, pero to River's point, yeah, they could have gone like, especially sa sequel, yung sinabi mo like, oh, how people are so dependent on technology and how like people can take like how if technology was sentient, how it could really take over the world or some shit. Like I wish they kind of done that. The
But they
sequel,
didn't
which I
really.
never watched, by the way. So yeah.
The sequel is more of like the father-son relationship. Parang
So
ganun.
it's just basically a continuation of the first one.
Exactly, yeah. It didn't really say anything.
I
Well, I
would
mean,
wanna-
films don't have to say stuff naman all the time, but
I
yeah.
would want to watch yung father-son thing. I'm like a sucker for that stuff. Pero like the
I
first
get-
one is like I don't get kung I guess it's just Jeff Bridges wanted the computer. Ganon. I think it's fine.
Oh,
Ganun.
River, yung ending ba ng yung sequel ng Tron, parang, man, this was some cool Tron 2, pare.
There was a Tron
No,
legacy.
you
It's called
have
Tron
to
Legacy.
tell us kumusta yung
I don't
Daft
even
Punk in
remember
the
the
movie.
ending.
No, the
Dude,
Daft Punk,
that's-
they're in there,
Oh, the
right?
Daft Punk. Yeah, they're in there.
Dude, I have never watched the movie, but I've listened to the soundtrack. Dude,
It's
it's
fantastic.
slaps, dude.
It's so good. Yeah.
Dude.
That's the only thing I remember from the movie. The music was amazing. I don't even remember the ending. I don't
They-
remember.
Yeah.
Like,
Did
most
they
of
go
the-
like
The music
around the Tron?
Dude, so, the music is amazing, dude.
No, I know.
Amazing.
Daft
It's
Punk.
on Spotify. Check it
Pero
out.
I just don't.
Tron Legacy.
Anong ginawa ni Daft Punk dun sa movie? What did he do?
There's a brief scene. There's a brief scene. They're having like he's having a discussion with Olivia Wilde about like, where's my dad, blah blah blah, and then they briefly go into like a bar that's in the computer. It's a space bar. Anyway, they go inside, and then Daft Punk is there, and they're playing the music in the background. You can see them in the shot.
I hate that. I hate that so much. It's so.
I hate that so much,
hate
River.
it.
I hate it.
You couldn't have
hate that
given
so-
them anything else. Just
Yes.
literally them.
Like you say, Interstellar, like yung nandun lang sila sa crowd. Remember that?
We're two robots. Ganon.
River, it would have
Yeah.
only been worse kung sinabi nila, this new Tron is harder, better, faster.
Okay. So
Okay.
I'm okay. Okay. Final thoughts on Tron. I'm
Yeah,
okay
final
with it. I
thoughts.
want to give it more. I want
I
to
love it.
understand more.
I loved it.
I liked. I can see its influence. Like to this day, I feel
Yeah.
like
This
people
is
are-
sure.
for you. From me, it's coming purely from nostalgia. I love it.
Yeah, I have the feeling.
For
I
sure.
love it.
From like an actual film standpoint, it's very messy in terms of the story, but it is very flashy and fun to look at. So
Yeah.
I like the movie. At the end of the day,
It is very cool. So, on to our next topic.
video game movies.
Our favorite video game movies and ones that we hated. I'll go first with one
Go
that
ahead.
I love. It's kind of cheating, pero I'm excited for they're making a movie for The Last of Us, the first one. So I just heard it
Is it a
online.
movie or
And,
a series? I thought it was a series.
seriously, can you
HBO?
go? Regardless if it's
I'll look it I mean,
regardless of
series
series show,
nowadays, they're basically long movies.
yeah, regardless of series show or movie, it's the perfect game that you're gonna like create because it's so narrative heavy. The first one, like again, I said this before. What I loved about The Last of Us 1 was not the gameplay, but your story, and it's the perfect video game, pare. If you wanna like get again, I told this before, like it's the only video game that I thought na, oh my god, may potential on video games to be movies. It was my favorite PS3 game. That and Skyrim, pero like kalaban sila
Si
so.
River sees Tetris as the perfect video game movie. Apparently.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
say that. I just said it's very exciting that they're trying to do that.
With this Gen Z super ironic fucking vortex that
All
you
those
live in.
Anti-humor shit posting that
Yeah,
Gen Z
I
love.
fucking hate that, by the way. Pero yeah,
It's so low effort just to make a joke. But anyway,
Oh.
yeah.
Ooh, by the way, medyo going out from yung I hate this. Ooh, this is not funny, but I know it's not
Dude,
funny, so it's funny.
No,
I
it's-
fucking
I
hate
was-
that, River.
I was talking.
fucking hate
I was
I
talking
am
with
not the
ano.
representative of Gen Z.
I was talking with si Aaron. Tapos sabi ko, like, I don't get why people shit on Friends when they also laugh at, look, a banana with a cat na something. Tapos that's the funniest thing ever. It's like, you do not get to say na pangit yung humor ng Friends if you're laughing at like random shit na hindi naman like,
You know why, Giselle?
Yeah.
You know why, Giselle? People have the out now today sa humor kasi, ooh, it's not funny. That's the point. I
That's why
hate
it's
that.
funny.
I hate that with
Why?
all my fiber.
No, I understand. There's some jokes that just they don't land at all, just because they're trying to make a shocking like, oh look, it's anyway.
It's not even that. It's this punny, non-funny.
man, he's
but
just
whatever.
describing yung stand-up ko, man. I don't know.
You get like personally attacked.
No, I
No,
don't
no,
care.
kasi
I literally
Giselle
don't
was
care.
hiding. No, River, kasi Giselle was hiding real anger beneath all of that.
Yeah, no, he had because Giselle had something to say in his comedy. There was
Yeah,
substance.
and he didn't know how to balance the
Exactly.
hatred for being
I
funny.
think
So.
I think si Andren is like he's like this seismologist who like had like a nice weekend. Nagpunta siya sa Taal, tapos nag-vacation siya with yung wife niya. Pero like every once in a while he'll look up to the mountain and the mountain is me. Tapos parang he's just waiting that when that thing blows, it's gonna take all of us with it.
Yeah,
yeah,
it is
like you said,
beautiful.
that thing is beautiful, and fuck, it's so awesome. But when this explodes, buddy, all of us are gonna be caught in
Favorite.
this explosion.
But what a
We
way
should
to
leave
go.
it alone. Leave it alone and let's get out of here,
Okay,
buddy.
wait. Off topic na. Pero
Yeah.
okay, I'll go back.
Video game movie.
Yeah, okay,
Go,
so
go.
we're okay, so to set yung
For me,
precedent na,
Last of Us. Basically,
Yeah.
sa akin, Last of Us.
no.
Oh wait, are we talking about ones that are being made or
Wait,
ones
wait.
that are
Let's-
already made?
Yeah, that's why I
Let's
said
give
I
at-
educated. Kasi
let's
I
give,
think it
ano,
has
Let's give
potential.
cheaty answers. Let's give cheaty
Fine.
answers for this round, and then yung next round yung serious. I have a cheaty
Okay.
answer. I think
Go.
one of the best video game movies is Children of Man with Clive Owen.
Why?
Kasi
I
it's just an
watched it.
escort mission. It's one long escort mission that doesn't stop. It's cool. No, seriously.
Like Man on Fire? Like Man on
no,
Fire?
no, like
Yeah.
ano, like Last of Us. That's a fucking
With that
escort
logic,
mission.
then friggin' Mad Max Fury Road is just a whole driving
Yeah,
sequence.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
a
not saying-
metal escort mission.
No, pero
Yeah.
seriously, like if you watch yung Children of Man, that's a pretty cool video game.
I love that movie. I love that movie
Yeah.
though. Yeah.
It just goes from one long. It's like
All
like
right.
fucking Last of Us. The
I've
Last
got
of
an
Us, you just
answer
fucking. It's like Eco. You just fucking. You're dragging along this piece of shit. It's fucking. Pwede
Pregnant
mamatay.
woman?
Except dito is a baby. Ganon. Pero
Yeah.
like, a cute piece of shit. Ganon. Yun
Wait,
lang.
was Emily the horse? No, joke lang.
Man, you
Okay,
don't get to judge me. You fucking gave a thing that you have not watched yet. For all we know, it's a piece of shit. Yung magiging Last of Us movie mo.
I have hopes for
Pero
it.
it's-
though.
I hope na pag lumabas yung Last of Us movie, merong
Wait,
quick
wait,
time
wait.
events.
If it's a piece of shit, then don't have any hope anymore for video game movies.
Because that's
Yeah.
the
Mortal
easiest
Kombat was
video
great.
game you
That's
can
the
Yung
do.
Luna.
easiest thing to do. You just need to copy whatever's happening dun sa fucking video game. Like, that's all you need to do. Kahit basic bitch lang yung acting nyo. That's all you have to do for it to be successful. Oh my god.
They released
You're
just a
already there.
playthrough of yung game. United na nila yung graphics.
They have the director like Twitch streaming the game, and that's the whole series.
That's crazy.
Okay,
ikaw,
my
give a cheaty answer.
Yeah,
How about you?
District 9.
How about
District
you?
9 is my cheaty answer.
What's Strict 9?
District 9,
District
dude.
9. Yes.
The prawns
That's
in
Half-Life.
South Africa. Because that was originally supposed to be a Halo movie. Then the
Oh.
director, yeah, it was pitched
Oh,
as a
I
Halo
never
movie.
knew that.
Yeah, it was originally
I
pitched
never
as a
knew
Halo. The first draft was a Halo movie. The prawns were supposed to be the elites, and then the main character was supposed to be Spartan. He wasn't. I don't think he was Master Chief. But anyway, then the script just kept changing, and then it was set in Africa all of a sudden, and it became District 9, which I think was a better idea anyway. And the whole movie, it's a first-person shooting game. That's what it is. It all the way through until the very end.
Yeah.
And
It's
they're
a
making
Valve
a District
movie.
10. It's a Valve movie, exactly. It's Half-Life, yeah. And I love that movie, and I can see that's one of those movies na you're surprised there's no video game about it. Like I can't believe they never made a
It'd be a
District 9
shitty
game.
video game. Kasi it's like inspired by video games. You know what I'm saying? Parang it won't
I get what
be
you mean.
good. Like it can't be as good as the movie.
Because
Like,
it's two steps apart.
Oh,
you know.
yeah. I kind of get that. Just so, like, if they made, kasi John Wick is such a video game
They have a
movie.
video game
Yeah.
of that and it seems shitty kasi it's just a
Yeah.
strategy game.
No, it's been poorly reviewed. Kasi it's, yeah. I get what you say.
Yeah. Parang like it's what the fuck? Oh no. Namatay yung Discord. Wait, we're gonna reconnect.
Back.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello,
Oh my
Giselle.
god, what the fuck
You
is
literally-
happening with Discord?
Dude,
Did-
Discord is
Did John
we
Wick
gotta
just
find a
kill yung ating...
yeah.
Okay, I'll turn on my creepy camera. Okay. Yeah,
So,
it's
do they
like
say real answers now?
yeah, let's give. Well, let's keep it interesting. Ganon. Like I think I'll
Go then.
start. I think one of the best video game movies growing up. I mean, serious na to. Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
It's just a fine movie.
I like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have any of you seen the trailer for the new one? It looks so
Yes.
good.
It looks
Yes.
amazing.
It looks exactly what I need. Yun lang.
Well, there's this. Again, I want to get a bit of news, friend. Get your opinion dun kay Melina. Parang basically, okay, she's black, but she's really Asian, and it's super like you don't have to delve. But like, why? Why would they do that? Why would you change the race of that character? Again, I don't care kung, yeah.
I mean, I think
if it was whitewashed, I would still hold the same level of anger. It was whitewashed, yeah. It's not a black
but there are
anything.
black Asian people. Like, may Okinawans. Like, may itim naman. Pero like, I get what you're saying kasi clearly she's a black person. I just,
Yeah.
I think, they're trying to get away from yung dragon lady stereotype, which is like Asian women are just sexy and they're killers.
I get that.
It's like when they did yung
Yeah.
kay Ben Kingsley sa Iron Man, like you can't have fucking Fu Manchu on screen na parang, oh, I'm gonna kill you with my magic dragon rings.
I'll
That's
get
the
you with
point.
this healing elixir. Yeah. I get
Pero
that.
like, I'm just happy na That's Ghost in the Machine. I'm just happy na they did yung fucking thing na malaki yung mouth. Like, they just do that. Sige, fine, whatever. Pero I get you. But
She
maybe they
actually-
didn't really have
yeah.
like much of a character for Melina. Is she that?
Oh yeah, baka hindi nga siya main focus. Kasi
I don't really know
heard-
the lore, actually. That's what I was gonna say.
Oh.
Like, is it important, her race? Is that important to her character?
It's no, it's not. I'll be honest, it's not.
I feel
Super-
like si Melina is like,
Yeah, unless na Shang Tsung, unless sino yung leader ng Outworld,
si
Shang,
Shang Tsung or si Chao Kahn.
si either one of those. They were Asian kasi in the games. Yun lang. That's why.
Yes, that makes sense.
I
I
feel
get what-
like yung lore ng Mortal Kombat, and maybe I'm wrong on this, pero like, you could change anything with it, basta just retain yung look and shit, and it's fine. Kasi most of the connections with each other is like, okay, he's a ninja, he's a purple ninja. Okay, apparently he's from a different clan, ganon. Or like, this guy, who's the cop with the baton? Friend ni
Si yung
Sonya.
asawa ni si Sonya.
Yeah,
Sonya.
wala, kaibigan siya ni
Yeah,
Sonya,
boy.
nakaibigan niya, like yung parang, they're like, it's just so fertile to like change and stuff, ganun. Just have everyone look how they need to look, and it's fine. Kasi it's not that deep. You just need the fatalities.
No, it's really, like yung sinabi nga ni River, yung sa plot, it got to a point na may mga cyber ninjas na.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then cyber ninjas. And Scorpion is in a feud with Sub-Zero kasi Sub-Zero killed his family, pero hindi pala si Sub-Zero. It was this fucking clone of Sub-Zero.
But that's
And
always
dun-
the story, diba? I've seen that too.
Was it-
That ginawa
It's
nila
so
sa
confusing.
Annihilation.
Basically, it's the Metal Gear of fighting games. It's so confusing.
That actually reminds me of G.I. Joe more than Metal Gear, because that's kind of the same plot with like Snake Eyes and White Ninja, whatever his name was.
Si Storm Shadow.
Storm Shadow, yeah.
Pero like,
Shadow.
it's funny to me na, I heard this from like another podcast, yung video game podcast, na there's this Russian guy who called in and he said na, what do you guys think of Mortal Kombat? Kasi Mortal Kombat is the most popular fighting game in Russia. Like, to the point na we make fun of other fighting games kasi we just like Mortal Kombat.
That's
That
interesting.
seems so fucking weird, pero when you say it, yeah, Russians would love Mortal Kombat. I don't know why.
That makes sense. Yeah, you're right. What do you think is the most popular fighting game here in the Philippines? Like legit fighting game.
Tekken, di ba?
Tekken. I'm thinking Tekken. Yeah,
Tekken.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
Tekken too.
Kasi even my kahit yung tatay ko alam niya yung Tekken
Talaga?
And he's dead. Yeah, fuck. Yeah.
We used to play
Yeah,
Tekken
sure.
sa rentahan ng PlayStation. Yung mga kami ng friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, those like
And
10
our
pesos.
arcades here had like up until Tekken 7.
Yeah.
I know, no, Tekken 6.
I feel like
Yeah.
Southeast Asia talaga is place for Tekken. Like, it's such a... Yun. Kaya nga may Josie
I don't think
Rizal, di ba?
I think it helped them kasi may Josie Rizal.
Yeah.
I
Well-
hate that. Am I the only one that hates that?
Yes.
I hated
I
it.
couldn't think of a Filipino character sort of like, who's the most
No.
well-known Filipino? Jose Rizal.
Wala pinangalan niya sa kanila si Etchi Gary.
Parang si Estrada na sa Front Mission 3 or something.
Oh,
Did you know that? May
Josie Estrada.
President Estrada.
Josie Estrada.
No way.
Yeah, it's
I had
fucking
no
cool.
idea.
Um,
Again,
now
being the snarky internet guy, I'm gonna be the snarky internet guy sa Mortal
sige,
Kombat
sige, sige.
movie. Magagalit si Giselle dito, River.
Oh.
I hope may nag-fatality. Tapos, maraming rib cages na lalabas. Kasi you remember the old
The same
Combat?
ribcage over and
No,
over.
kasi we were gonna do a comic book, tapos yung request niya is I draw 100,000 rib cages coming out from one person and wala mag-explain ng anything. It's like, I am not gonna draw that many bones. Sobrang pagod na ako mag-ink sa PKP ng mga buto ni AJ. Putang ina. Yun lang.
Kasi it was cool, di ba, River? If you ever played like Mortal Kombat 1 to 3, hindi anatomically correct yung
Yeah.
fatalities. When you uppercut, tanggal ang ulo, tapos lalabas yung 5 rib cages. Like, that's not how it works.
A femur comes out of the mouth.
Do you
It's like,
guys, do you guys still like yung fatality? Kasi I watched like compilations on fatalities. Tapos parang,
oh, the recent
Oh, hell
one?
yeah.
well, after
Dude,
a
they-
while, well, I guess it's the way because I watched it. Pero after a while, it's like, I really got sick. Like, parang, like this is so
I mean,
brutal.
I also got sick, but it does look pretty cool. You have to
Yeah,
admit.
yeah.
But
Pero
it's
like
because
one
it's so
after another.
realistic,
So
na.
it's another. It's
Yeah, you're like, eesh. Like, he like, yeah.
I have a
There's some
question.
like, even Giselle, even if they're so fucking violent, some are silly. Like
Yeah.
Shao Kahn's fatality. Like he literally gets his hammer. Parang he removes the two of the feet. So naka dog
Yeah.
style position yung guy. And he smashes the hammer in the head comes out of the ass. So like
Yeah.
dude, it's so funny.
No, that's
It's
funny.
So funny.
Pero like,
It's so funny.
pero then I'll watch like a YouTube video na pinapatay ni Sonya yung tatay niya or something like that. So, like, anyway, it's fine, you know. Pero like, I have a
Yes.
question. Do you think, I like, not a question. I really like na, well, it's always been si Sub-Zero and like si Scorpion. I think it's really cool yung new story that they're doing with him. I mean, it's a new old story, but like, I like that they're Japanese and like, it's all very, very, ninja. Ganun.
Yeah, I agree. I like that too.
Okay.
Next
So
answer.
I killed the topic.
No,
Just
no,
saying
no,
I
no,
like
you-
ninjas.
It just ran its course.
Stop
There's
being
nothing
so
else to
funny,
add.
dude. Down on yourself, baby boy.
I'm
Wait,
So-
okay, here's a question. Because I'm not super big into Mortal Kombat. What is Goro? What is he?
He's a 4-armed
Is it
guy na,
Um,
na parang
Where's he
He-
from?
Yeah, he was made by who was the wizard? Fuck.
Shao Kahn. Hindi, Shang Tsung.
Shang Tsung. Yeah, he was made by Shang Tsung,
Okay.
this super killing machine, and Melina. Then he
I
was
thought
made
he
by.
was
And
like-
si who's the female Goro?
Yeah, see, she
Goro.
Goro.
She-
I don't know. Gora.
Gora.
I thought he because I just watched what was that freaking Spielberg movie with the kids and they have an adventure and then there's a special needs guy with a superhero.
That's almost any Spielberg movie.
Special
For
needs
me.
guy. Oh no.
There's like a
no.
guy with a deformed face and he has a Superman T-shirt and he's like, "Hey, you guys, what's that movie?" I don't know. It's a really old movie.
Shazam?
I just thought Goro was like the product of incest. That's what I thought. At first.
Well, technically, you're not wrong. Melina was a product of like genetic inbreeding, so yeah, you're not wrong.
Okay.
That's what happens
I can
kapag
look
you
at
fuck
this.
your cousin, magiging malaki yung bibig mo. Knives.
So he's gonna be the guy from Midsummer who fucking
Yeah, exactly. He's gonna be the guy from Midsummer. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Goonies. The movie I saw was Goonies, by the way. That was
That's
like
not
an
a
old
Spielberg
80s.
movie, right?
Is that not a Spielberg? I thought it was Spielberg.
I don't think it's a
I
Spielberg
don't think
movie.
it's a Spielberg movie.
Goonies.
I think it's a it's a not Spielberg movie. Yun lang alam ko.
Oh, okay. It's either Spielberg. Oh, sorry. It's Richard Donner. Spielberg just.
Oh, talaga? That's so fucking weird kasi the other week I watched Lethal
Superman?
Weapon. Lethal
Oh.
Weapon. Tapos that movie, Andren, you should watch that movie. Like, kasi pareho tayong basta it's just so fucked up kasi he's like he really wants to kill himself. So sobrang on-edge siya na cop and that's the whole point. Tapos parang wow, that's a fucking weird movie. Like that's fucking dark. Yun lang.
Okay, Little Weapon.
Okay.
Yeah, is it basically like Copland? I watched Copland and it was a fucking
I think it's
depressing.
funnier. Maybe I haven't watched Copland, but like, it's a little bit lighter. Pero like, it's where like yung I'm too old for this shit comes from. Yan.
I'm too old for this shit. Anyway,
Okay.
the video game movie that I like, and this is somewhat tied to what Andren said kanina about The Last of Us, where they literally just have to copy paste the story and then you're good. That's kind of what they did with the recent Tomb Raider movie. Have you guys seen the recent Tomb Raider
Ooh, that's a
movie?
good movie to watch on a bus.
I only watched the Angelina Jolie ones.
No, the
where
new
you
one's
soundtrack
good.
from porn. Dude, I love it. I loved it.
The Angelina
Pero-
Jolie one, they're a guilty pleasure of mine, honestly, because of
So
Angelina
what's the
Jolie.
new one? What's the new one?
But the
What's
new one, it's literally the story of because they recently rebooted the Tomb Raider games with
Yes.
it's like a prequel, and it's good. I love those games.
It's a
Yeah, I
great
love
movie.
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
They
Yeah.
literally just took the story of the first game, copy pasted. This exact same story, exact same story beats, exact same action moments.
Ganda.
And yeah, and they just replaced one character. There's a character in the games called Roth, who's like the father figure. They replaced him in the movie with her literal father. So they just skipped a few steps, and it's the actual dad of Tomb Raider. And that's it. It's literally the same story, and I actually enjoyed it. And the effects are good. I like the acting.
Ganda ng
Alicia
ganda ng
Vikander.
action. The lady's
It's a
great.
good movie. Alicia Vikander in Ex Machina. That was like one of her biggest films at the time. But yeah, and yeah, I think that's what they did. They, like you said, I hope that's what they do with The Last of Us, where they literally just copy paste the story and
Yeah,
put it
kasi-
in the.
Again, not to repeat what I said, it's the easiest thing to do. You just need to follow the source material.
Yeah.
But like
How about you?
we're talking about like movies na are based on video games that strive to be like movies, except yung Mortal
Movies.
Kombat. So like, but ikaw admitted ka, Andren, you didn't even like yung gameplay ng Last of Us.
Yeah, I know. It was okay. It wasn't bad. It was okay.
It wasn't groundbreaking. It was just a
Yeah.
third-person shooter stealth.
It was more of the story lang talaga that
I would like an eco movie. Ganun.
That'd be a good one. No dialogue, just
Mel Gibson could direct
Ooh.
it. He basically did that.
Yeah.
Naman. So,
dude, you know what would be a great movie? Even na so lang yung gameplay niya. Shadow of the Colossus, pare. Like, imagine yung CGI na
I don't think
malupit.
it was
That'd be
so-so.
like a huge
Maganda
art
naman.
piece.
I mean, it's not the best, pero
Dude,
like, it's pretty
yung
cool.
gameplay ng Shadow, it's basically a series of
Yeah.
quick time events, pare.
Pero that's
sa
not
mga bot.
bad. That's basically Last of Us then.
Yeah?
Oh. right?
Yeah.
It's a series of...
Oh wait! Before
Yeah.
Andren says his other answer, I have another one pala na that's kind of similar. Have you guys seen the Prince of Persia movie
How is
Oh,
that?
you
Is that a
think-
movie?
oh,
Or is that a
Jake
fever
Gyllenhaal?
dream na I had?
with Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah,
Yeah.
with Jake Gyllenhaal.
The funny
It's-
thing is, ito yung connect. Jake Gyllenhaal was Donnie Darko, who is also a time traveler, just like the Prince of Persia.
Oh yeah.
Okay, sige.
But yeah, the Prince of Persia movie, it was okay. They kind of took the story, but they added some little changes. And it's so weird that Jake Gyllenhaal is the only white boy in the whole movie. I know that he's I think he's part from Israel or something. He's part Jewish, I'm not sure, but that's the tie. But whatever. But the overall story, they kind of. Did you guys play the Prince of Persia game?
I played yung original.
Sands of Time.
Yeah.
Which one was the one yung may goatee na siya tas edgy?
Oh,
The
that's
second
Warrior
one,
Within.
Yung may pirates
Yeah,
sa
yeah.
opening. With like the hot
Yeah, yeah.
lady, tapos pero pangit
Yeah,
yung kanyang
but
dental
But it's
work.
been a while. It's been a while since I played that. So,
Anyway, yeah, but like they took the ending. I mean, okay, what they did with the Prince of Persia movie, they half did what Andren was talking about with copy pasting the story. The beginning is just total like nonsense. I didn't like the beginning, but in the end, it was like, oh, this is exactly like the game now, and that's when I started liking it. And then they copied the ending, where he basically sacrifices himself, but then rewinds time so far back. It's the beginning of the movie again, and then he just does one thing and changes everything. It's hard to explain.
butterfly effect.
No,
yung butterfly.
Yeah.
that's what happens the first game.
Yeah,
like
like
when you get yung the princess or whatever, and then he rewinds back to the beginning. Tapos
yeah,
it's like
all the way
it's a
to the
clever
beginning.
moment.
And that's what
Yeah.
that's what the movie did too. And
a
I
clever
actually
moment.
think that was pretty cool. Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds like it's a
Well,
mediocre movie now I don't want to watch.
It is very mediocre. I'm not gonna lie,
Yeah.
but
I
the
have
ending
a
was good.
question. Yung
Okay.
any of you watch yung Assassin's Creed movie?
No.
Oh, the one with
Why?
Michael Fassbender.
I haven't
heard
watched
it was
it, pero why? Kasi it should be, it's Michael Fassbender. And like,
I saw the reviews and it didn't. It sounded like a waste of time.
yeah, it's like Assassin's Creed. Am I right, guys?
okay,
Pero
okay.
here to end this like podcast,
Oh.
one final topic. Each with you guys, each topic from each individual. I'll go first. One of the worst video game movie adaptations. For me, it was the Super Mario Brothers.
I've never seen
I
it.
liked it, man. I
I've
rewatched
seen
it a
clips
couple
of
of
it,
years
though.
back. It's a bad adaptation, but it's a funny movie.
Like what I remember about it is like they were just fucking trying to parang stop this fucking fungus from growing, and it was with John Leguizamo, and Bowser was this fucking like naka leather jacket siya, and it was all
Yeah,
these.
he's got a snake.
I unironically really like that movie when I rewatched it, because it just fucking goes for it. It's like, who gave you this amount of money to do all this crazy fever shit? Because it's like, yeah,
Nintendo.
it's what Andren describing. Like, there's this sentient fungus that is basically siya yung good guy dapat, pero these fucking lizards who got regenerate. Kasi if they're not, it's not just they're lizards. They're people who got regenerated into going back sa reptile brain. It's fucking insane. It sounds like Oddworld.
It is super insane.
Yeah.
And one more before I end my. You never watched the Super Mario one, River?
No, which is weird.
River,
The Nintendo guy.
Take some
I've seen
drugs or
clips.
like. No, wait,
I've seen
River,
some
take
clips.
some drugs
Okay.
or like be really drunk na lang to be safe and just watch it with any of your siblings or friends and just have a great time. Like dissecting why did this happen?
It's
Hey,
it's
so
Mario. It's
simple
so
enough
straightforward.
story.
Yeah.
Yeah. And worst movie rin yung Street Fighter the movie, which was turned into a game,
I
which
like
was called
that movie,
Street Fighter the movie, the game.
Dude,
Yeah.
okay. Everything about that movie is horrible except si Gomez.
Except
Raul
Raul Julia,
Julia.
yeah.
Raul Julia was
Yeah.
amazing. Yung
He did
line
it for
niya,
his kid.
it was the most important. It wasn't the most important day of your life, but to me it was just a Tuesday.
Just a Tuesday.
It's
Yeah, I
amazing.
love that line.
Do you know yung story about Raul Julia taking yung role na yun?
It was his
No,
kids,
no, no.
right?
It was for his
wanted-
kids, tapos he literally had cancer filming that
Aw.
shitty movie. It was
That
so
was his
fucking
last
sweet.
film.
Yeah,
He
he
died
had
after
cancer on set. Yun lang.
He was really skinny now on set, you could
Yeah.
tell. But he was amazing. I could care less about what was the name of the main actor who he played Guile.
Van
Fucking-
Damme?
Van Damme, yeah.
Van Damme, baby boy.
Yeah, and I'm like, why is it Guile is the main character, not
Why is
Ryu?
Guile
or-
French?
Why is Guile French? He's supposed to be the whitest American blonde boy. It's freaking French.
Apparently, sobrang saya daw ng shooting nun. They were just drunk every
But yeah,
day.
I heard they had a good time, which is, at the end of the day, at least. I'll talk about the movie that I didn't like. I didn't like the Doom movie. Have you guys watched the Doom movie?
Watch these movies! Why do I watch all these
I heard
fucking
about
movies?
this. I heard about this, pero
I watched it in the cinema. It was okay.
I hate it so much.
There's a
The only-
scene, Andre, na biglang magpa-first person view. Na
Yeah,
biglang may
that's
baril
why.
siya.
Love that part. Okay, you know what? That's the funny thing. That's the only saving grace in the movie. You can watch that whole scene on YouTube. That whole scene is
Yeah.
just on YouTube. Just watch that scene and you're done. You don't need to watch the whole movie because the whole movie is so slow. Nothing happens.
Yeah.
It's just a setup. Oh, I just got. It's just a setup for the virus, and it's like I'll wait for Andrew because I want to talk more
Sige,
about
sige,
because I know he's gonna be interested. Okay. Hello, can you hear me, Andrew?
yeah, I'm here.
Okay, the reason why I hate it is because Doom is like the very DNA of Doom is he's killing demons. It's supposed to be satanic as a theme, and that's the point. But they changed it to aliens. It's like this alien virus. It's supposed to make like a superhuman soldier, and then and it's so most of the movie is them describing the virus, and then it's only in the last like 30 minutes is when there's actual like action, like Doom action happening, and that was when the first person part happens, and then everything else is just it's just nothing. And then The Rock dies, but then he's alive. and then he's the final boss, and then it ends, and then that's it.
River,
That's why I
River.
like it.
Is
Yeah.
there any part in this movie that Rock does his wrestling moves?
He might have
Yes,
done a
actually he does.
clothesline. He probably
He does like he lifts someone up, he
Yeah.
throws him on the ground.
Probably, yeah.
Oh, a
Kasi
gorilla
press.
he became like
Yeah.
a demon na may fangs and shit. Yun yung tanda ko.
Yeah,
I don't know who I watched
there is
this
one
movie with.
line that the thing I like about the movie though, other than the first person scene, was throughout the movie The Rock is clearly made to be he's
The
made to
good
look
guy.
like the Doom guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then there's a scene where he suddenly gets dragged by one of the monsters, and then he's like, "I wasn't supposed to die," he says, looking at the camera, and then he dies. He says that to the audience.
It's
I wasn't
a-
supposed to die.
It's a really cool switcheroo na parang
Yeah, and then it's actually one of the other soldiers that becomes a Doom guy.
yeah, si yeah.
Rosamund Pike is in the movie.
Yeah.
Who?
For some reason. Rosamund Pike. She's in Gone Girl, and she's in
The
this
blonde
recent-
girl,
she won
sa
a-
Gone Girl? She's si Gone Girl?
Yeah, she's
Oh.
the Gone Girl.
It's been really
and just-
downhill since then, no? Yung Doom movie. She's
Yeah,
doing shitty movies like Gone Girl. I'm
Yeah,
kidding,
and she
I'm
hasn't
kidding.
won any Golden Globes.
Ah, she
like,
did one?
just today.
Oh,
She
that's
won
cool.
Best Actress just today, so Golden Globes winner.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's the
cool.
movie I did.
Okay. Fuck. You guys just cleaned out yung mga video game movies. But I actually like most of what you mentioned, ganon, like as experiences. What's a bad, shitty video game movie? Something that I probably think is terrible, pero I'm saying that I really enjoyed it watching, was when I watched yung Mortal Kombat Annihilation sa Cinehan.
Oh yeah, that ruled.
And then may part na they had animalities, yun yung thing ng movie. And then they became a dragon. I'm sure if I watched it now, I would just be like, oh, this is terrible looking. This is like the shittiest thing ever. I don't even remember any aspect of your movie except si Liu Kang became like a giant dragon and then fought
Yeah.
someone else. And then yun lang.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I can remember parts Mortal Kombat 1. Dun sa Annihilation is like, what happened in that movie? I remember nothing. Ayun lang.
Yeah, kasi what I remember is the one, like the guy from Highlander was Raiden, and
yeah.
yung cool
Si
spear.
Lambert.
Yeah.
And like, maganda yung fights ni... Oh, cool yung si Kano. Kano was really good. Kano is like such a good character.
Doon lang galing yung first one, yung your soul is mine.
Yeah.
Is it-
And
yeah.
in the first movie had the best soundtrack. I mean, yung OST.
Oh,
lang.
yeah.
Ayan.
Yeah, shut up. Ang best soundtrack when Skrillex made Reptile's theme. So yeah. So yeah, let's
What?
end with that.
Okay.
Skrillex making the
Skrillex.
Guys, thank you so much for watching the the Gaming Gamers
Really even say the
podcast.
name.
Yeah, the Gaming Gamers podcast. The podcast that has gamers saying, okay. Yeah, basically that. This has been me, Andren Bernardo. Anything to plug, guys? Kasi me, I have to plug lang Solid, okay? Follow it. We're gonna
Yes.
upload new sketches
Woo.
for anyone watching
Exciting.
this. So, okay. So how about you guys? You got anything to plug? You, Giselle.
Ikaw, River, you got a podcast.
Oh yeah, I don't really upload there anymore, but when I do, I'll let you know. It's called I forgot the name. Don't be mean. Where I talk to people I've just met and then I get to know them through the podcast. And that's the theme.
That's very brave of
That's
you.
where I got to know you, Giselle, because that's how we became friends. Because I
Yeah.
just randomly got you as a guest. That's what I do.
When I was supposed to talk about
How about
comics.
you?
I have a YouTube channel. Just search